Huh? Did something happen? My name's Eito Tsukioka, 26 years old. I work at my grandmother's traditional cafe, Tsukioka-te. Right now, I'm on my way home after work. I just saw a woman crouching by the road and asked her if she was okay.
I'm sorry. It looks like I dropped my earring around here. I'm in the way, aren't I? I'll move right away.
Oh no! If you don't mind, I can help you look for it. Apparently, the earring was a gift from her boyfriend, and it's shaped like a ribbon. We found the earring soon after I started looking with her.
Thank you. I'd really like to return the favor somehow.
Well, if you're interested, I'd be happy if you could stop by the cafe where I work. When I handed her Tsukioka-te's shop card, she smiled brightly.
Tsukioka-te, right? I'll definitely come with my boyfriend someday.
The next day, while I was preparing for opening with other employees at Tsukioka-te, the manager, my grandmother, called out to me.
Good morning, Eito. Let's do our best again today.
My grandmother smiled warmly. She's nearly 80 years old, but still moves around with incredible energy. According to her, being around customers keeps her feeling young and lively.
Recently, more customers have been coming to see you, Eito, which has been a big help.
I guess my helping others is turning into free advertising for the cafe. I was raised by my parents to always be kind to others. That habit led to moments like yesterday's earring search, which, in turn, brought attention to our cafe. Of course, the reason customers become regulars after coming once is because Tsukioka-te is such a comfortable place to relax. Tsukioka-te was opened by my grandparents with the concept of being a warm place where people can take a breather. Even after my grandfather passed away, my grandmother has kept that atmosphere alive. By the way, both of my parents are working office jobs because neither of them has any talent in cooking. Once Tsukioka-te opened, time flew by, and soon it was lunchtime. Welcome! Good to see you, Inoue-san.
I'll have the usual, please.
She's Arisa Inoue. I heard she started working at a large company called Lovekoi Trading this year. Lovekoi Trading is close to Tsukioka-te, so Inoue-san often comes by during lunch. She's such a regular that her order can be summed up with the usual.
Yes, I said it again. The usual.
Thank you for waiting. Here's your crescent moon set meal and matcha latte.
Wow! Your 3D latte art is always amazing.
Every time she orders the matcha latte, Inoue-san reacts like it's new and exciting. Since I'm the one who makes the 3D latte art, it makes me kind of happy. As I start to feel sentimental, I realize I've become drawn to her bright flower-like smile.
This is my senior at work, Karma Tabata-san.
Nice to meet you. Inoue-san and I are in different departments, but we get along well. A few days later, Inoue-san came in with a man. Nice to meet you. My name's Eito Tsukioka. Even though Tabata-san said they were close, I couldn't help but feel some distance between them. Oh, so Inoue-san calls you by your first name. You two must be close. The moment Inoue-san left the table, Tabata-san's warm smile disappeared. No. Since this is my grandmother's cafe, if people call me by my last name, it gets confusing. That's why I ask customers to call me by my first name. I see. That makes sense. Feeling some hostility from Tabata-san's gaze, I started to feel uncomfortable. Inoue-san is the daughter of our company's president, you know. I suggest you stop aiming for her, cafe worker. What? Inoue-san works at a nearby company, but that means she's a high-class lady? Oh, it seems you didn't know. Let this be a lesson. You should refrain from getting too close to customers from now on. I never intended to, but the fact that I was attracted to her left me speechless. When Inoue-san returned to the table, I couldn't remember a single word of our conversation. Realizing the difference in her status, I began to struggle with how to interact with her from then on.
Eito-san? You seemed distant lately. Is it just my imagination?
A week after Tabata-san's visit, Inoue-san nervously brought this up. It wasn't during the usual lunchtime rush, but rather near closing time. With fewer customers around, maybe she thought it would be a good chance to sit down and talk. Inoue-san, do you have time after this? With her and my grandmother's permission, we decided to stay after closing to talk. After the cafe closed, I explained how I learned Inoue-san was the president's daughter. Feeling awkward about telling her, I also mentioned the conversation I had with Tabata-san.
I'm sorry that Tabata-san said such rude things. I didn't mean to hide that I'm the president's daughter, but I didn't think it would cause any trouble.
Oh, no. I don't really care about what Tabata-san said. Besides, there is no reason to go out of your way to talk about your family. You don't need to apologize. It's just that I became overly conscious of it. I started thinking things like, this must be a boring conversation for someone of her status, and that made me awkward. But worrying my customers like that means I failed as a cafe worker. I'm sorry.
No, Eito-san, you don't need to apologize either. If our roles were reversed, I think I'd worry about similar things, but...
At this point, Inoue-san cut off her words and gave me a hesitant upward glance.
For me, it doesn't really matter if I don't understand the conversation. Just hearing you talk happily is enough to make me happy. And with your matcha latte, I'll feel like I have 100 times more energy. So I'd be glad if you treated me the same as always. If that's okay.
Yes. It's a little hot, isn't it? How about I get us some cold drinks? On the house, of course.
Thank you.
Suddenly, I felt embarrassed and stood up from my seat. How can I not be conscious of her after she reacted like that? But at the same time, the distance in her social standing is real, and confessing now might be too hasty. I need to work hard to become someone worthy of her. That's what I decided. The next day, I immediately took action and began conducting surveys with the customers.
Huh? Improvements for Tsukioka Tei?
This is Naruse-san, the university student I helped find an earring for. Since then, she and her boyfriend have become regulars.
Well, if I had to point out something, I'd say the photos for social media. The 3D latte art is definitely Instagrammable. But sometimes the angles feel like a missed opportunity. But hey, that's just a casual opinion. I'm not sure if it's helpful.
No, that's incredibly useful feedback, especially from someone who seems knowledgeable about social media. Oh, you're asking me, the great Shimizu Daiki, for advice on your cooking? Next, I decided to ask Shimizu-san, another regular customer, for his thoughts. I met Shimizu-san several months ago, right before closing time. Are you okay? You smell nice. I was just craving chicken tempura bowl, pumpkin stew, eggplant and broth, and some miso soup. Don't eat my uniform! I'm not food! Shimizu-san was collapsed outside Tsukioka that night, hungry and exhausted. I prepared a chicken tempura bowl for him, and ever since then, he's been a regular customer. Now then, let the great Shimizu Daiki give you some advice. You should feel lucky to get my opinions for free. Take thorough notes, Eito-kun. Yes, sir. From that point on, I actively sought feedback from Inoue-san and other regulars. I compiled all the suggestions, continued refining them, and as a result...
Oh my! Looks like we'll need to hire more staff at this rate. We might even need to consider opening a second location first. Recently, the cafe has been so busy that we sometimes have to turn customers away due to lack of seating.
Tsukioka-te's reputation was growing, and we were fortunate to have increasingly busy days. It was all thanks to our loyal customers and the support of my grandmother and her staff.
If we do open a second location, Eito, I'll be leaving you in charge. I need to start teaching you all about management as well.
I'll do my best to carry on the legacy of Grandpa and Grandma's cafe. I'm still learning, but I look forward to your continued guidance and support.
Oh my! You've grown into such a proper adult, Eito, talking so formally like that.
Meanwhile, over at Lovekoi Trading... Hey, Inoue-san, why don't we grab lunch together again sometime? Tsukioka has been really crowded lately. I could recommend a few different places for you.
I'll pass. Why don't you invite one of your junior colleagues for lunch instead?
Why are you being so cold? We had such a good time last time, didn't we?
A good time? I didn't enjoy it at all. That day, you forced yourself along to Tsukioka-te because you claimed you were interested in the place. I foolishly thought that maybe you'd become a regular customer. But after you insulted Eito-san, I'll never join you for lunch again.
Damn it! Inoue-san's been cold to me ever since she joined the company. Wait, so that cafe worker ratted me out, huh? Shortly after that, negative reviews about Tsukioka-te and me started appearing online and on social media. The staff at Tsukioka-te are terrible, especially the owner's grandson. He is the worst. The owner's grandson treated me horribly. I'm seriously upset. And the food was bad too. The whole place felt old and dusty. Tabata seemed pleased with himself, but...
Fake. The owner's grandson and the staff are always so kind and polite. I come here daily. I've never met anyone kinder than the owner's grandson.
The fact that you can't even describe the food shows that you didn't actually eat here.
The place is always clean and comfortable. Has this person even been to the cafe?
The flood of replies calling out the fake reviews quickly put an end to Tabata's slander. Damn it! Why is that cafe so popular? If it comes to this. A few days later, Tabata-san returned to Tsukioka-te for the second time. I'll have the chicken tempura bowl, please. Despite the unpleasant first encounter, I couldn't simply turn him away. I treated him like any other customer, but then... So, what part of the chicken are you using for this dish? We use chicken breast for the tempura. I knew it! The meat is so dry! For fried foods like this, you're supposed to use thigh meat to keep it juicy. You clearly don't know what you're doing. Well, it's a ran-down cafe, so you probably just use cheap cuts to save on costs, huh? Actually, there's a reason we use chicken breast. No need for excuses. I bet you just want to make a profit by using low-quality ingredients. You probably see your customer as nothing more than wallets. I bet even the regulars who come here are just clueless suckers. Is that so? In that case, there's no need to pay. Please leave. Immediately. What? You're kicking me out? Your behavior has disrupted the enjoyment of our other regular customers. At this point, you're no longer a customer yourself. Also, you'll be banned from returning, so please don't come back. What the hell? You can't ban me just because I hit a nerve! Tabata-san scoffed at my firm response, but then... Oh, hit a nerve? More like you made baseless accusations. Shimizu-san's comment made Tabata's face twist in irritation. What? The one spouting nonsense here is you! This owner's grandson admitted it. He said they used cheap, dry chicken breast. Yes, chicken breast can dry out if not cooked properly. But with the right techniques, it can be tender and moist. Marinating in things like salt or yogurt is common, even in home cooking. I've been ordering the chicken tempura bowl regularly, and not once has the chicken been dry. Also, the cafe doesn't use chicken breast just because it's cheap. Right, Eito-kun? Yes, our cafe serves a wide range of customers with different preferences. That's why we use thigh meat for karaage and chicken breast for tempura. By the way, we clearly list the type of meat used for each dish on the menu. Maybe you didn't read it, or you deliberately ignored it to create a point of attack. Fine, but how do you know they're not tricking you too? Do you even know who I am? Shimizu sighs in exasperation as he hands over his business card. Tabata takes it and is left speechless. No way! Shimizu Daiki, the famous food critic? That's right. Shimizu-san is a well-known food critic, famous even among the general public. By the way, the advice he gave us in the past was, for your seasonal moon viewing hamburger plate, the side dishes are a little too heavy. Normally, your side dishes are fine with the Japanese-style hamburger, as it's refreshing. But with the demi-glace sauce on the moon viewing hamburger, it feels a bit too rich. Also... And that constructive critique went on for an hour, which led to significant improvements at Tsukioka-te. I can tell right away if a cook is lying about their food. So maybe you should stop pretending you know better than me. Shimi's smile made Tabata grit his teeth in frustration. At that moment, Inoue-san entered the cafe.
Tabata-san, why are you here again? You're not causing more trouble for Eito-san, are you?
Inoue-san? No, this is a misunderstanding.
Eito-san is someone I deeply respect. If you've caused him any harm, I won't stay silent about it.
Inoue-san then began to recount the day we first met. A year ago, on a rainy day, I noticed a woman walking with crutches, completely drenched by the sudden downpour. That woman was Inoue-san. Fearing she might catch a cold, I rushed over and held my umbrella over her. Then, there's a cafe where I work just around the corner. It's her day off today, but I can offer you something warm to drink if you'd like. When I made the offer, she quietly thanked me. Once we arrived at Tsukioka, I gave her a towel and called a taxi for her. She had only planned a short outing, so she had left her phone at home. While waiting, I made her 3D latte art matcha latte. Cheer up, okay? I made a little voice for the milk animal on top of the latte, but her only response was a blank stare. Immediately, I felt embarrassed, but then...
It's cute! Thank you. I feel a lot better now.
Though tears were still falling from her eyes, she gave me a soft smile. In the end, I never asked why she had been crying, and we passed the time chatting casually until her taxi arrived.
That day, I couldn't hold an umbrella because I was using crutches after breaking my foot. I was completely drenched, and most people just ignored me. Some even shouted rude things. But Eito-san was different. He reached out and helped me. And when I couldn't stop crying, he made me smile again. So for me, both Eito-san and his matcha latte hold a special place in my heart.
But that kind of kindness is something I could do too.
Excuse me?
I'm serious about you, Inoue-san. I can do anything if it means making you happy. So, forget about this cafe worker and...
Stop! Please don't say another word. Hearing you cheapen your own words makes me sick.
Huh? Why?
Earlier I mentioned that someone shouted rude things at me when I was soaking wet. That was you, Tabata-san.
What? For a moment, Tabata-san was speechless. But the realization started to dawn on him, and his face turned pale.
I remember it clearly. You said, "Get out of the way with those filthy crutches."
That was before you joined the company. I didn't realize it was you.
I see. So if it wasn't the president's daughter and looked filthy, you wouldn't be interested in me at all.
That's not what I meant.
I will never forget how hurt I felt that day. I will never be interested in you. If you really care about my happiness, then stay away from me.
Just when Tabata-san was about to slump over, the accusations against him weren't over.
I just remembered something. The first time I met Eito-san, this guy bumped into me and I dropped my earring. Even though I apologized, you just complained and didn't even help. You said, "Stop blocking my way, you flashy girl." Actually, I've seen him before too. I remember thinking it looked like he was harassing one of his junior colleagues at work. But to think he was like this too. My, what a rude and thoughtless man. He's nothing like my dear grandson. Even if someone did become your girlfriend, I can see her falling out of love quickly and being treated badly. No wonder no woman could ever fall for you.
And so, under the glaring eyes of the cafe's regulars and my grandmother, Tabata-san... Shut up! Who cares? Why should I go around helping others when it doesn't even benefit me? Isn't it smarter to live with myself as a priority? Just then, another customer arrived at the cafe. So that's how you really feel, huh, Tabata-kun? Sir? What are you doing here?
We were planning to meet here as a family for dinner today. Looks like I'll save myself the trouble of explaining to my father now.
It seems there may be more issues with your behavior at work too. We'll be conducting an internal investigation. No, please! Tabata crumples to the ground, devastated. From his reaction, it seems likely he's hiding other misconduct. Tabata-san, this is all the result of your own actions. Instead of belittling others, you should have been focusing on improving yourself. Once again, I must ask you to leave immediately, as you're disturbing the other customers. And so, the commotion caused by Tabata came to an end. Later, an internal investigation at Lovekoi Trading revealed that Tabata had been harassing his juniors and pushing work onto others. After receiving disciplinary action, he eventually resigned, unable to continue working there. Hello, please, I need your help! Tabata is reportedly struggling to find a new job and has been calling everyone he knows for help. However, his reputation for being heartless has spread, and no one is willing to assist him. As for me, I confessed my feelings to Inoue-san, and we started dating. A few years later, when my grandmother retired, I took over the management of Tsukiyoka-te.
I'm praying that Tsukioka-te will continue to be a place where your kindness reaches every customer, Eito. Arisa-san, please take good care of him.
With the influence of Shimizu-san's reviews, Tsukiyoka-te eventually expanded into multiple locations, and then... Arisa Inoue, will you marry me?
Yes! Of course!
Even if the kindness you show others doesn't directly benefit you, it enriches your heart and strengthens your connections with others. Those daily acts of care and support will continue to shape our happy lives together. With that in mind, I hope to walk forward with the one I love by my side.
Chief Kawamoto, about this blueprint.
The position of this wall won't provide enough seismic resistance. Try shifting it a bit.
Got it, thank you.
I'm Naoki Kawamoto. I'm 31 years old and work as a chief in the design department of this company. It's been 8 years since I joined this company as a new graduate. Before I knew it, my design skills had become the best in the department. But lately, I've had a small concern. Why is everyone getting married one after another? Friends, colleagues, even juniors and subordinates, they're all tying the knot. I've been too focused on work. Since starting my job, I haven't really been in a relationship. Every time I see how happy everyone around me is, I feel a sense of urgency. Ow, Chief Kawamoto, good work! Sorai? What's up? He's Shoichi Sorai, one of my subordinates in the design department. Well, I'm getting married soon, and I'd love for you to come to the wedding, Chief Kawamoto. Here's the invitation. I thought I'd share some happiness with you since you're always working. I see. I'm glad you invited me. Thanks, I'll definitely attend. Since I've been giving him work-related advice, Sorai often throws these snide remarks at me. He probably wants to take a jab at me since he can't outdo me at work, so he tries to assert his superiority in relationships. Though I find it annoying, I accept the invitation, thinking it's best not to create tension at work. A few months later, I attended Sorai's wedding. It's a lavish ceremony filled with people. We're in the middle of the reception. Sorai really splurged on this.
Yes, and his wife is quite beautiful too.
It seems Sorai's wife's name is Emi. During the introduction, a video played showing how they became close in college and started dating 3 years ago. The reception progresses smoothly, and now it's time for the newlyweds to make the rounds to greet the guests. Sorai, congratulations on your marriage. Thank you. Sorry to get ahead of you in finding happiness. Oh, but Chief Kawamoto lives for his work, so I'm sure our marriage doesn't matter to him. Maybe because Emi is by his side, Sorai's sarcasm is milder than usual. But the condescending look in his eyes clearly showed he was looking down on me. So, Chief Kawamoto, how did you find our wedding? I thought it was nice. Congratulations once again. Thank you. You know, marriage is great. Just having a good woman by your side really motivates you at work. But I guess someone like you who doesn't even have a girlfriend wouldn't understand that. Back at work on the next shift, Sorai's snide remarks continue, and I'm getting fed up with it. I tell him to just get back to work, but he shows no sign of remorse. Hey, where do you think people meet their partners? A few days later, feeling increasingly anxious about marriage, I decided to ask a married friend for advice. Oh, so you're finally interested in marriage? I thought you were going to stay single forever, Naoki. I've always wanted to get married eventually. It's just that I've been prioritizing work. Considering it might take 2 or 3 years to get married, I figure I need to start looking for a partner soon. But I don't really know how to meet someone.
Well, normally I'd suggest a marriage agency, but I don't know much about that. I met my wife on a matching app.
Wait, really? Isn't that just like a dating site?
No, that's an outdated view. Sure, it used to be like that, but now it's pretty mainstream.
According to my friend, there are many apps where people seriously looking for love or marriage can register. Also, to confirm identities, they require users to submit identification, so there's less fraud and impersonation. Furthermore, many of these companies have strict measures in place to deal with problematic users.
These days, it's not uncommon for people to get married through matching apps. The app I used is called Love Koi Matching. The company provides solid support and the fees are reasonable, so I think it's something you could easily use, Naoki.
If you say so, I guess. And so, I registered on Love Koi Matching under the name Nao. Oh, I've got a message from Fu-chan. A few months after starting Love Koi Matching, I became close with a woman named Fu-chan. We live near each other and share similar tastes in TV dramas. Our conversations always get lively in the messages. However, Fu-chan doesn't seem too keen on meeting me in person. Maybe she's being cautious. I've casually mentioned nearby restaurants that I recommend, but Fu-chan's response has been lukewarm. It's been 2 months since we started messaging. According to my friend, it's not too early to go on a first date. But judging from our exchanges, it doesn't seem like she dislikes me. Maybe she's just shy. I want to get to know Fu-chan better. So I decided to adjust to her pace and opened the message.
What do you think of my full-body profile photo now, son?
According to her profile, Fu-chan is 27 years old, but she looks quite young. Well, she submitted her ID, so the profile information shouldn't be false. Muttering this, I replied to her message. I think you have a great sense of style and know what suits you. I'm not very good with fashion, so I'd love it if you could help me pick out clothes sometime.
Thank you.
After a long pause, I received a reply from Fu-chan with just those 2 words. But after that, her responses clearly changed. She started saying things like, "I'd like to go there too," about the restaurants I recommended. And finally, "Would you like to grab a meal sometime? I can tell you more about my favorite dishes."
I'd love to.
And so, our first date was set. In person, Fu-chan was adorable, but she looked so young that I was initially taken aback. However, once we started talking, the conversation flowed as smoothly as it had in our messages.
It doesn't feel like we're meeting for the first time, does it? I'm really glad I met you now, son.
Then, Fu-chan smiled sadly. Before she started messaging me, Fu-chan had interacted with various people on the app. But because of her appearance, she was often avoided or, on the contrary, approached only for her looks.
There was one person who seemed nice, but when we met, they said some hurtful things. They asked if my profile photo was a joke, and said they couldn't be seen walking with someone who looks like a middle schooler.
This guy had mocked her as soon as he saw her and ended the meeting immediately. Because of that, she hesitated to meet me in person at first.
But the message you sent me the other day made me want to meet you. I have a baby face, so I tend to dress younger, but people around me often avoid me because they think it's not age appropriate. I registered on a matching app hoping to find someone who would understand me despite my appearance. So your comment acknowledging why I dress like this made me really happy. It made me so happy that I took a while to reply.
Watching Fu-chan's shy smile, I couldn't take my eyes off her. After that, Fu-chan and I went on several more dates. Each time, our conversations deepened and I discovered more of her charm. We also shared our real names, and I learned that our full name was Fuka Yamazaki. On the day of our 3rd date, when I had decided to confess my feelings to Fuka, I was focusing on finishing work so I could leave on time. "Today's date night with my wife, so you'll handle this work."
It's a bit much to ask me to handle all this work on short notice.
Hearing something troubling, I decided to step in. "Hey, you don't have an excessive workload, do you? Don't push your work onto others. Finish it yourself." "You wouldn't understand, Chief Kawamoto, but balancing work and home life is tough. As a boss, you should consider your subordinate situations." "Well then, shall we bring this up with the department head and discuss your workload?" "Yeah!" Shoichi often slacks off at work, and both I and our superiors have had to scold him several times. He must have realized that if he brought this up, he'd just get scolded again, so he tried to secretly pass his work to a colleague. Wasn't having a good woman by your side supposed to motivate you to work harder? If you keep doing things like this, even Emi-san might lose respect for you. Fine, I'll do it. I'll get it done. You really are a joyless workaholic, nagging me with logic like that.
Thank you, Chief Kawamoto.
No problem. If he tries to push more work onto you, let me know. Afterward, I finished my tasks and managed to leave on time. Incidentally, Shoichi also managed to finish his work, though with a near tearful expression, just in time. Seems like he's capable of doing it on his own after all. I'm utterly exasperated. That night, I steeled myself and spoke the words, despite my legs trembling from nerves. Fuka Yamazaki, I like you. Would you go out with me with marriage in mind?
Yes, I like you too, Naoki. Let's be together from now on.
As Fuka smiled at me, I felt truly fulfilled, like I understood what it meant to have one's heart full. And so, we began dating. After we started dating, we naturally stopped using honorifics and formal language with each other. Just having Fuka near me, I feel supported. I've only focused on work until now, so I'm not really sure what couples do. So sometimes I worry if Fuka is enjoying herself.
As long as you're with me, Naoki, I'm happy. Knowing that you're thinking hard about what would make me happy is what makes me the happiest. Thank you, Naoki. It also makes me happy that you share your worries with me. You accepted me as I am, so I want to support you as you are. Whatever challenges we face, we'll overcome them together.
Yeah, thank you, Fuka. As I continued these conversations with Fuka, I felt more motivated and focused on my work. 6 months after we started dating, I was promoted to assistant manager. Congratulations, Assistant Manager Kawamoto. I'm counting on you. Thank you. I'll do my best. Huh? Is Sorai not here? I went over to Sorai's desk, needing to talk to him, but it seems he wasn't around. As I idly glanced over his desk, I spotted a document that made me widen my eyes. A few days later, Fuka and I were out shopping at the supermarket on a day off. As we walked around together, we ran into Sorai and Emi. Oh, Assistant Manager Kawamoto, what's up? Doing some lonely bachelor shopping? Wait, who's this with you? She's my girlfriend. We've been dating for 6 months. Sorai's smile froze at my words. Huh? Really? You have a girlfriend? Where'd you meet her? I thought you only worked all the time. On a matching app. A matching app? Well, I guess someone like you who can't have a normal relationship has no choice but to rely on an app. I mean, using a matching app is probably why you ended up with a girl like this. And by the way, is she even of legal age? It's not some shady business, is it? She just looks young. She's definitely an adult, so stop talking like that. And it's wrong to think that using a matching app means you can't have a proper relationship. What matters is whether the people involved are serious about love and marriage. We've been genuine with each other, which is why we ended up together. Ha! What nonsense! No matter how sincere you are, the fact that you couldn't find a normal partner still stands, doesn't it? I didn't need an app to meet my wife and get married. That alone makes me a better man than Assistant Manager Kawamoto.
That's enough, Shoichi. You've been saying nothing but rude things. I'm truly sorry about my husband. Wait, you're married? Yes. We've been married for about 1.5 years now. But what about it?
Fuka? Ignoring our questions, Fuka glared at Shoichi with a sharp look.
You're the worst! You registered on a matching app under the name of Shoichi and lied about being single, didn't you? About 1 year ago, we even met, remember?
What are you talking about? I have such a beautiful wife. Why would I use a matching app?
I remember what you said to me. You mocked me, saying I looked like a middle schooler and left me stranded at the meeting place.
Yes, the man who met Fuka through love koi matching and said those cruel things was none other than Sorai. That must have been someone else who looked like me. Shoichi tries to play dumb, but it's clear he knows exactly what she's talking about, judging by his shifty eyes.
I tend to leave a strong impression on people, so I rarely get forgotten. But clearly you don't remember me. Could it be that meeting women through a matching app is so routine for you? That's why you didn't even remember our first meeting, isn't it? Hey, Shoichi, You've been coming home late a lot since we got married, but you said it was because work was busy, right?
Oh, but haven't you only worked overtime a handful of times in the past year and a half? And even when you did, it was only for about an hour each time. Well, that's...
Show me your phone, Shoichi. I said, show me now. Don't stall.
Yes, ma'am. Caving under Emi's pressure, Shoichi obediently hands over his phone.
I see. You're registered on multiple matching apps, and the last message was just yesterday. Hey, Shoichi. What does this mean?
Well, it's not what it looks like.
We'll discuss this thoroughly later.
Emi took Shoichi away with her, and they disappeared somewhere. Emi says she's dead set on getting a divorce. What are you going to do about it? Why should I do anything? You brought this on yourself. The first thing Shoichi did when he came back to work was to start complaining. Judging by his tone, it's clear he doesn't think he's at fault. I'm stunned by his complete lack of guilt. It's your fault for saying unnecessary things. You should pay for my alimony. Instead of wasting time blaming others, maybe you should think about how to explain this to the company. Huh? Why would I have to explain anything to the company? Before he could finish, I shoved my phone screen in his face. The photo showed Shoichi's desk with a receipt from a certain restaurant. That's right. The document I found on Shoichi's desk that day was this receipt. I found it suspicious, so I took a photo. That's just a business dinner. Oh, really? Then what's the deal with this date? Didn't you say you were going on a date with your wife that day? That was the day Shoichi tried to dump his work on a colleague. I remembered it well because it was the day I confessed to Fuka. And the receipt was made out to the company, which didn't match what he said at all. I checked with the accounting department, and it seems you filed this receipt as an expense for a client meeting. Needless to say, falsifying expenses is a form of fraud. If they investigate, the truth will come out. You should think about how to handle this. You piece of... What? I said you're a pathetic loser who can't meet women except through a matching app. You were so desperate for a woman that you had to register, huh? A guy like you who's only good for work has no chance with women. So how dare a worthless guy like you ruin my life? What are you talking about? Are you describing yourself? What? I can't help but laugh coolly at a scumbag like him talking about a man's worth. You're the one who registered because you wanted women to play with, aren't you? Although I doubt any decent woman would go for a married man. You underestimate the people who register on matching apps. Sure, some are there just to play around, but those looking to cheat are a small minority. And yet, you lied about being single just to find someone to play with. Even if you meet someone through an app, they're still a person with feelings. On top of that, you didn't even use your own money for your personal entertainment, but instead you burdened the company. People who live so recklessly can't expect to have smooth sailing in life. So, what was it you said? That I ruined your life? You mean you ruined it yourself? Yeah! Leaving Shoichi, who had nothing more to say, I returned to work. Later, an investigation revealed that Shoichi had filed multiple false expense claims. Though the amount was small, it was enough for the company to file a damages claim, leading to a settlement. However, the expense fraud was a clear violation of company policy, and Shoichi was dismissed with cause. Damn it! Why did it have to come to this? Apparently, he had been sneaking money from Emi, who didn't know about the receipts. She had been giving him money for their outings, which he pocketed instead. Already furious over the cheating, Emi completely gave up on Shoichi and divorced him. Furthermore, for violating the terms of use, he was blacklisted by several app operators. Damn it! I can't keep any women or money! Now, unable to register on any matching apps, he's living a lonely life while paying alimony to Emi and damages to the company. Meanwhile, Fuka and I continued dating smoothly and finally got married. I'm so glad I met you, Fuka. Let's keep supporting each other and be happy together.
Yes, let's do that.
Whether you meet someone through a matching app or elsewhere doesn't really make a difference, I think. What's most important is how sincerely you approach the relationship and how you show that sincerity through your actions. We'll continue to cherish each other and live with mutual respect.